You're listening to Snippets from the Summit with your host, Scott McKay.
All right, gentlemen, how's it going? This is your main man, Scott McKay, coming at you again with another snippet from the Summit as part of the Mount to Top podcast from X&Y Communications. Today, we're going to talk about something that on the surface is so obvious. I can't believe it's taken over 20 years to mention this at all, but it actually was a coaching call with one of you guys that really brought this idea to light. And it's kind of another one of those ideas that's hiding in plain sight. It's something we should know, and we probably deep down already do know, but because of how we look at our prospects of attracting women and either feel confident or less confident about it, it shapes how we view circumstances with women and actually skews our reality. And I'll tell you what. Over the years, marketing to us as men in the dating, seduction, relationship space has really capitalized on this particular fear and this particular hope that comes with it to the exclusion of that reality that has indeed been hiding in plain sight. Here's exactly what I'm talking about. You know the tired old drill. You can be short, fat, bald, old, poor, whatever you want to put as a limiting belief in there and get women to want you anyway. You don't have to be tall. You don't have to be good looking. You don't have to have money. You can still pull chicks, or the variation of that, the guru themselves citing their own personal experience as a direct example. I am fat, bald, old, and poor and smell funny, and I still pull chicks like freaking Hugh Hefner. Well, here's the thing. I know a lot of guys who are the opposite of that. They're tall, they're fit, they have a full head of hair, they're young, like under 30, they got plenty of money, and they're still not getting any women. And yes, there are guys who are not quite as tall, not quite as wealthy, a little more out of shape, and they're getting all the women. But they're not performing some trick to get those women. They're not fooling those women into thinking there's something they're not to get them into bed. It isn't some sort of miracle either. It isn't like, oh, you say this one line, whisper this one thing in her ear, and it all works. Why did those guys all get women when the guys who, like I like to say, guys who've won the genetic lottery or who are like Nepo babies and just are born wealthy or something, a lot of those guys aren't getting as many women as other guys are? Well, when a guy who apparently lacks all of those genetic or financial advantages is actually getting the women that those other guys with the advantages can't get, what's going on there is he isn't getting women he somehow doesn't deserve by tricks or some sort of Band-Aid solution to that. What he's doing is he's focusing on what he can control, and he's focusing on how attraction really works with women to get the women that those guys who have the money and won the genetic lottery aren't able to get. Okay, so let's clear the air here. Sure, you can lose weight, you can go to the gym and get more fit, but here's the thing. What if that still doesn't get the women? Well, what these guys I'm talking about who get women despite what the popular media and every men's dating advice ad you've ever seen talk about is they focus on what women want. They focus on being charming. They focus on being funny. They master a sense of humor. They actually like women and they make women feel safe. Are you getting the drift here? Yes, these guys are big four men, and being a big four man is something you can absolutely control. Still, another type of men's dating advice talks about how women are just going to ruin your life, drag you to divorce court, go crazy on you, and probably turn you into the police with false rape allegations, etc., etc. The reason why that red-pilled men's advice is so popular is because people nowadays overlook character. More specifically, good character. Yeah, that's the fourth pillar of the big four. When you're a man of good character, what happens is you recognize more quickly when women aren't of good character. You weed them out of your life. And yes, the women of good character are searching for a man like you. So people of good character tend to attract each other. You see, guys, there's a fork in the road. And like Yogi Berra once said, when you see a fork in the road, take it. But are you going to go left or right? Are you going to try to trick women despite being short, fat, bald, old, poor, or getting chicks with some sort of easy button? Or are you going to go the correct route, in my well-traveled opinion, of focusing on what women are really attracted to that you can take control of? As such, you actively pursue being charming, being funny, actually liking women, making them feel safe, and yes, being a man of character. Do you see how that simple shift can change everything? Instead of feeling sorry for yourself and trying to find a loophole or a workaround, you can actually start celebrating what's going to authentically attract women to you if you only give it a chance. Want to talk about this or anything else? Scot at mountaintoppodcast.com. Be good out there.
As always, visit mountaintoppodcast.com for more.